Hey friends, it's Kara here with Kinsley's Creative Palette, and I am going to show you today my favorite way to make polka dots. But I thought I could show you my favorite way today, and then maybe we could do another live talking about other ways to make them. So this one's my favorite, but if you struggle with this, I've got a couple other tips I can show you on how to make polka dots other ways. Got Megan on and Dana. Hello ladies, welcome. Okay, so I cleaned my brushes the other day and threw them all over my table. So let me get my very favorite brush to make polka dots. And friends, once you master this way of making polka dots, you'll never go back to the other ways. But this way tends to scare some people. So I don't want to present it as the only option because it's not. There's more than one way. I don't want to say the rest of that. Just gonna get. Is that the saying? But this is my favorite. Okay, so what I have here is I have this. It's kind of slick. I got this from P. Graham Dunn. Went on a field trip this summer with some friends. And we went to Amish country, and then there's a sign place down there. And so they had all of these DIY crafts. And so I thought these would be fun, different vehicles, so to say, to show y'all some different stuff. Hey, Amy. All right, so I've got my blank. And in just a second, after I walk you through the supplies I'm using, I will angle the camera down so that you can see better. Okay, since this is really slick and I've never painted on a surface like this, I may have to put a base coat of white on it, but I'm going to try to hold off on that. So I'm just going to grab some spring colors. I have, this is a Deco Art color in Carousel Pink. Let's see, so I'm just going to squirt that. You can use just about anything for a paint tray as long as it's not porous, but I have been getting vegetables and they come in these wrapped with saran wrap, and so I've been reusing these. You can also use egg cartons, paper plates, you can use reusable palettes, whatever you want to use. Okay, so I've got my pink. And guys, I don't know if y'all know this, but spring is my favorite time of year. Like hot pink and lime green and turquoise and bright yellow and orange. Those are my colors. So you can see pink is my very favorite. But so I've got some turquoise here. And friends, if you're new to watching me, I do not get super hung up on brands. I'm more of a use what you have or what's available. I would rather you just get crafty and decrease your blood pressure and spend some time having fun than worried about what brand of paint you use. So this one is Apple Tart. Ooh, this one's really thin. Okay, so we are going to try to go straight onto the board, and then if that doesn't work, I can always put a base coat on. So I'm going to angle you down so you can see. Now, in order to do my polka dots the easy way, or at least for me, it's the easy way, because it takes less coats and you get better coverage. So I take my paintbrush and make sure your bristles are nice and flat. This is a 5/8, it's a 5/8 flat, and this is a triangle tipped brush, which are my favorite. Now I'm gonna load one side of my brush. I'll show you what that looks like. See that? So I loaded one side. Now I can start anywhere, but when you do your polka dots, you want to do them in triangular patterns. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to set this down and turn it in a circle. Okay. I did not move the middle part of the brush. I only spun the outside. So my inside stayed where it was. And let me show you how pretty that outer line is for that polka dot. All right, so I'm going to keep going because that took pretty well. It's probably going to take a while to dry, but since I'm just showing you a technique, it may not have to be all the way dry. All right, so we've got 1 Now, in order for this to be triangular, we're going to use, we're going to place our next polka dot, and then our third one would make that a triangle. So I'm going to use this green. Let's see, I wanted to do different colors. Let me grab a different brush. That brush that I'm using, that's my favorite, and so I have several sets of those, and so I'm going to just grab 3 of those same exact brushes so I can do all 3 of my paint colors. I should have another one. That or I took it next door. Anyway, I have tons of them. I just don't know where they all are. Okay, so these will work. All right, so I'm going to grab pink. I'm going to load one side of my brush. So there again, got paint on one side, not really on the other. I'm just going to set it down. And, twist. Now, your main thing when you're making your polka dot is to get that outer line, because you don't want to have to come back and touch that up. You only want to touch up the inside. Now, I know I'm going to get the question, why don't you use these things? And we will talk about that in a later live, so you'll have to stay tuned. So I'm just going to fill that in a little bit. And then I'm going to grab another brush. Now this one is slightly different, but it's still a 5/8. It's just not one of my favorites. And then I'm going to put paint on one side of that. Again, lots of paint on one side, hardly any on the other. Now this one, if you see, we've got 1 polka dot, 2 polka dots, so I need to go here, and that way if I connected these with an invisible line, I would have a triangle. And I can hear you right now saying, well, Kara, fabulous, but why are you trying to make a triangle? So one of the things I see in the studio that people struggle with the most is they get their painting out and they start it and they put a polka dot here and a polka dot here and a polka dot here, and then they get done and they have this open space that they try to put a polka dot in, but it's not quite big enough, and then this part looks crammed together and this part looks spaced out. And so if you stay in a triangular pattern, like here, you see this, my next one will go here, and then these 3 would make a triangle, or these 3 would make a triangle. And that way you can keep your spacing uniform. So I'm going to go back to my pink, and I'm going to make a polka dot right here. You see that? Y'all see how smooth those edges look? They just make it so much easier. All right, so let's see. So then, if I was doing another one, and something else I want to tell you is, you can see I'm taking mine off of the board, because the way I like to picture this is if I laid a piece of fabric over here and I trimmed around it and I glued it to my board, that fabric would go off the edges. So if you try to constrain, is that how you say it, your pattern to just the board, it ends up looking squished and it doesn't look as organic. Okay, so I want to do a very small blue polka dot right here, and when I say small, I just want the edge. So I'm going to go mostly off of the board. Remember, it needs to make a triangle, so it's just going to be right here in this corner. All right, you see that? Just right there in that corner. Okay, so now I need another turquoise, and it's going to be over here. I'm just kind of looking to see so that the colors don't all meet each other. Just set it down and spin it. That one got a little bit big. That's okay. And then I'm going to switch to green, and we're going to come down here. So 1, would come right here off the board. Got a lot of paint right there. Y'all jump on and say hi. If anybody's talking, I may not be able to see comments today. Facebook was acting wonky, so I may not be able to see them. All right, so there needs to be color, I think pink. Yeah, I need pink over here. So 1, 2, I'm gonna put pink here. This is much easier if you're not trying to put a bunch of different colors. Y'all see so far? And I'll go back after that dries and I'll fill in the inside of my polka dots. But then my outsides are good and crisp and they're ready to go. All right, I'm gonna grab my turquoise. 1, 2, invisible triangle right here. And if you're like me and you shake when you paint, sometimes I have to take that extra hand and swirl it around. It doesn't always come easy. All right, so we need to go pink down here. So 1, 2 would be right here. And then I'm gonna do a big green one right here. 1, 2, 3. All right, I think that's going to be all of our polka dots. So I'm going to start filling these in as they get dry. And like I said, this had like a plastic coating over the wood. And so it kind of has a really weird finish to it. All right, let me switch. So I'm just going to kind of fill these in. Now, if you try to put wet paint on wet paint, it's just going to pull your paint back off. So make sure that to save yourself time, you're letting your paint dry. And if your paint is not dry, just grab a blow dryer. I actually have a designated blow dryer at my craft table because it speeds up my painting projects. If y'all have questions, though, feel free to ask. And if for some reason I don't answer, it's because I can't see them, and I'll answer them later. I'm getting ready to go to the post office and ship out a bunch of packages, and one of them, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the Easter basket, I've got a bunch of people painting that right now, and you can order a blank so you don't have to cut your own. And what's really cool about the blanks that I have in stock right now for the Easter baskets, they already have the lines drawn on them, so you don't even have to guess about where to paint. It's like fill in the blank. Okay. I love polka dots so much. Now, one thing to remember, if you are going to paint words or something on top of your polka dots, you would want to smooth out those edges. But since I am not doing that, I just wanted a cute polka dot cross. The raised edges were perfectly fine. All right, friends, I think that's about it. So I'm just going to finish filling these in. But this is our cute little cross. And I don't know. Oh, yeah, I do. There's where all the other paintbrushes were. I told y'all I had more. They were in my water cup from the last time that I painted. So, all right, guys. I will see you guys later. We will talk next time about the difference in using a brush and using the daubers that you can get at Walmart. You can get them at Joann's, Michael's, wherever. So I hope that that was helpful, and that you will practice your polka dots, because honestly, guys, practice makes better. And this is seriously a super fun and easy way. Once you get the hang of it, you can whip out your signs, especially if you're making them for other people and you're trying to get a bunch of them out. This is the quickest way to do that. So I'll talk to y'all later. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see y'all later. Bye.